What's happening, everybody? Come on in the room. Surprise. I know you guys are not used to seeing me on a Friday like that, but I got some, as the old folks say, I got some important. I got some important information. So I want you guys to come on in live. And then those of y'all that can share, can you share? Let's go. What's up? Speak to me as you come in. Speak to me as you're going. What up, Queen? Speak to me as you come in. What up, Doe? I see my Facebook. You speaking. What up, Nicole? What up, Futrell? There y'all go. Speak to me as you come in. Can I get as many of you all to share? That will share. What up, Lamar? What up, Doe? There you go. YouTube is here. What's happening? Anthony Oles, what up? Patricia, what's happening? What up, Sean? Latoya Banks, Latanya, I'm sorry. Got to get these names right. So, guys, I wanted to come up because tomorrow's a very important day. And even if you're not in the city, I want you to be aware. And I want you guys to pray with us. Are you also on Instagram? I think I am on Instagram. I think I am. My tech guy set it up. But I wanted to come up because tomorrow's going to be a very important day. We're going to leave the four walls of the church and we are going to go out. I need those of you that are on here tonight, I need you to pray with me. And I'm going to tell you why. I want to bring in someone with us, and he's our community pastor. God moved him from Washington back to Chicago. He left Chicago to go to Howard University. Can we bring up Pastor Will? Let's bring him in.
Hey. Praise him.
He's so church. So, guys, this is Pastor Will. And Will is actually from Chicago, from one of the greatest sides of Chicago, the same side that I grew up on the west side of Chicago.
Absolutely.
You left and went to Howard. Why Howard?
Well, it's a crazy story. I actually never applied to get there. God obviously wanted me there. So I just remember my mom coming in with a letter from Howard saying that I was going. I knew nothing about Howard, know nothing about DC. I called them. They told me I was unclassified. And I called back and they told me to come and prove myself. So that's my story.
Oh, wow. And then you ended up at Howard and you got a bachelor's degree?
So, yeah, I attained
what are your degrees in?
I got a Bachelor of Science in Psychology and a Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice, and I have a Master's of Divinity, all from Howard.
Really?
Yeah.
Man got a lot of student loan debts, don't he?
Too many. Try to get Biden to do his part and chop it down in Jesus' name.
So we thank God that you're back in Chicago. And now you are at New Life and you are what we call our community pastor. So it's so funny that every time something comes up, if anybody has any concerns or issues, I take pleasure in saying, talk to Will, talk to Will. Tomorrow's going to be a great day for us because we're leaving the four walls of the church. How would you describe, what is tomorrow going to be like tomorrow?
Man, tomorrow is I guess tomorrow is like a hybrid from outreach to evangelism to just all out family festival. I'm a concert, gospel concert all at the same time. It really is something that we have strategically placed for a unique tool of ministry that is not just one aspect of church, but you're getting church fun, food, all these things happening at the same time. So we calling it a Greenwood Fest for a reason, so that all of Greenwood can know that the Church of New Life is bringing life to the community.
One of the pillars of our church is outreach. And for everyone that is listening, I want you to hear something. There was a young lady that spoke at the one conference. Nona shook the cage. When I say she shook the cage, because what she showed us is that 20% of people in America are associated with some religious organization. 80% are not. She said, we so busy reaching for and going after the 20% that nobody is going after the 80. That thing messed me up, bro.
That's
And
crazy.
one of the things that's been a true pillar of our church is outreach. I mean, we stood on corners, we fed the hungry. We used to put hot dog stands on different corners, let people eat. We got ice cream trucks, pull them up to a certain area, tell them come and do, we rehabbed a high school, put a computer lab in there. We did a bathroom at another grade school. We rehabbed houses. We bought automobiles. These are things that we do to pour back into the community. And hear me clearly, it was not about just people in the church. It was going outside of the four walls of the church. Tomorrow's going to be important because I've been telling people, and this is what where church I love the church, but these are the things that kind of irritate me, because we want to shout, we want to dance, we want to lay hands, we want to speak in tongues, we want to prophesy, but we want to do it all inside the church. But when we get ready to go out, don't nobody want to go outside.
No, I definitely want to go outside.
Why do you think that is? Nobody wants to go outside.
Yeah, I think the culture of church in itself has allowed us to feel self-important, self-righteous, and we've lost the mandate that was mandated to the scripture, that was mandated from the scriptures. After you've been converted, go strengthen your brother. And
Right.
That's the role of all believers. And so I don't really believe that you're in real ministry until you're willing to go outside of the church. So that's pretty much the reality of what's going on.
So today I had a pretty chill day, and you know what I did? I went into a community, High Park. I got my coffee. I met someone there. I sat outside, and when I sat outside, people just start walking up. People just start talking, to the point that I began to see the mental illness. I began to see the hurt, the pain. I began to see the sexual, sins, the promiscuous lifestyle. I just was sitting there, and I'm sitting there. I mean, one girl walk up and just stand there and look, and you can just see just demonic. I'm just sitting, and I sat there and said, you won't see this if you just lock up in church.
So good.
You will not see this. You won't feel this. We get caught up in church mess while the world is going through something.
Absolutely.
So now we want to come out of the church.
Absolutely.
What are some of the things that we want to do tomorrow?
So one, we want to engage. We're not out there trying to get people to new life necessarily. We're trying to get people to Christ. And that's the key, to find the level of connection, the level of engagement. Like you're saying, Pastor, we don't know what has happened outside through COVID. We've been in a house.
The church is in a bubble.
Exactly.
We are in a bubble. And I am telling you, saints, when I sat there, Will, you know what I kept saying? This world is not my home. Like I am like a fish out of water, because this ain't my world.
Yeah.
But this is the world that we're supposed to be light in the midst of darkness.
Absolutely.
This is the world that because Jesus wasn't hanging out with the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
Facts.
And so, like I told our intercessors, and this is good, I want you to hear me. Come to this park, walk around it and pray.
Yeah.
If you're going to be handing out backpacks,
come on,
lay hands on these kids. Cover these kids.
Yes, sir.
With this spirit of violence that is in our community.
Yes, sir.
Y'all want to lay hands on church people. You want to see them fall out in front of the church. I got a whole park full of people.
Come on here. Yeah, like, I mean, Pastor, you're on it. And I think once we get the pulse of what's happening in the community, then we know how to minister. Like once we understand the weight of what people are going through, we don't assume it's in our face. So tomorrow, we're engaging, we're empowering, we're entertaining. We're taking a level of engagement from vaccinations to immunizations. We have barbers and braiders. We have
braid the girls' hair.
Braid the girls' hair. You got to press a comb and a barber and free.
Shut up! Y'all got to press a comb too.
I don't know if they. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna say that.
But I'm saying I know they got something that all of the girls don't got the same texture, so I know they got to straighten it out or something to get it braided. But
and so then we're gonna give out the backpacks.
We got 1,000 backpacks that we're giving away tomorrow. We got free food.
Is there the truck that had the games on it where the kids
We
can go?
have a gaming truck. We got activities for all kids from not rock climbing, some Jenga, big large Jenga thing.
Right.
It's like crazy investment for
All right.
kids.
So now we believe, watch me, you do all that to get them, but then you can start speaking in the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
So you have guests tomorrow.
Absolutely. We got some crazy guests. We got Judah Band. We got the Jesse White tumbling team coming through.
Come on.
And we got Molly Music. And not only are we doing all this simultaneously, but we also going to be spinning the word and evangelizing and giving some inspiration and covering my young people as they go back to school. So
This
it's happening.
thing is spiritual, man.
It's all
this
spiritual.
Is why I'm going to say this respectfully. It'll blow your mind how many people are sitting up waiting on the microphone in the church.
Wow.
And tomorrow, to me, as far as I'm concerned, every minister, every evangelist,
come on,
every prophet,
yes, sir,
every preacher, every teacher,
yes, sir,
should be in that atmosphere,
come on,
touching, loving on people,
yes,
encouraging. I told them some of these kids, they live in hell. Yes, but if we invite them to a park and we get to hug them, love on them, speak life into them, are they still giving out shoes?
Oh, and they're giving out gym shoes. I forgot to say that. They're giving out sneakers tomorrow too, all free. It's gonna be crazy.
This thing.
Shout out to that.
I've been shaken, bro, because when I look at this, there's a part of me that wants to repent to God. And someone said the church is a hospital. You know what? I agree with you. But how long do you stay sick?
Come on.
How long do you occupy the bed? When do you get well enough that you can go out and get somebody else that's sick and refer them to the same place that got you healed?
Come on.
And I just believe that the enemy, to me, has gotten us locked into being competitive,
yes, sir,
fighting, majoring in minors, dogged, that you don't have time to think about or to focus on the loss.
Come on. You got to lead up. Yeah.
So tomorrow, if you have a child that needs to be ministered to, if you have a child that needs their hair cut, their hair braided, if you have a child that needs school supply, if you have a child that single parents, that you need somebody to love on your kids without any type of perversion.
Yeah.
Ain't no predators.
Come on.
We just want God to get our kids.
Yes, sir.
Because guess what? The world is offering some stuff. That Don Kanye came to Chicago and had 30,000 people down there. 30,000. And the ticket ran from $100 to $4,000. And they didn't complain one time. And they went down there and the man never sang.
The man was on fire.
He was on fire. Set us up on fire. And we sitting up in church. And guess what? This is another thing. This is another thing about me. I want everybody to listen. You could hear a pin drop. Everything they played over the sound system. They made sure that it could be heard. Yeah. They made sure that it could be seen. They spent money to sow into it, to make sure that their message was being reached to all 30,000 people sitting in the seat. But then when it comes to the church, you want to come out there with a Mr. Microphone.
Come on. Pastor, like that's the dope part about New Life that I don't think people understand. I think that they see what you do personally, but not understand that really you can see the pulse of a church based upon where the money is going. And for you to know what New Life and who New Life is that this is free. So all of the investment, we've paid good money not to get anything back. There's no offering
this
tomorrow.
This thing cost me over, come on here, over $60,000. Yes, this event cost me over $60,000. But I can't be mad.
Come on.
I can't go out here with a Mr. Microphone. I can't go out here and just pray over people and not sow into them not feed them,
Yes, sir.
not love on them. Guys, because I want every pastor, every church to listen to me. Whatever community that you are in, you are sent to that community to serve. If you are not serving that community, you only use it to hold your religious gatherings.
Whew. It's heavy, Doc.
I read an article one time. I was watching a documentary, and they said, "Do you know anybody in this church?" I said, "No." And everybody in that church didn't live in that community. Everybody got in their car, drove into that community, got out of their car, went inside their church, had their church, got back in their car, and went back to their community. Never meeting the needs or knowing anybody in that community. This God.
Come on.
I'm just saying, and I'm saying this, I want everybody to listen to me. I fight to stay focused. I fight to stay focused. What do you mean? Because the 20% want me to only focus on them and forget the 80.
Wow.
Because the 20% want all my attention.
Wow.
This is the honest God truth. And we sitting up waiting on the great white hope to come to the Black community to help us.
Facts. Come on, Pastor.
Okay, I'm on another page, Will.
No, you're in the pocket. You're in the pocket because this is what makes ministry relevant. It may not get you to be where you want to be in comparison to all of the major ministries out here. But when you're in the heart of the desert, like we are the oasis to our community, to understand that means that you really are not doing ministry until you get out there with the people. And so the exciting aspect is that because you as the leader have the heart for outreach, then the culture of the church is a reflection of the one that is leading us. And so it's not just Pastor Hannah at the top, it's also the people, it's the ministry. So all of us are receptive to the fact that it's not about us at the end of the day, but it's about those that are lost. And so I'm just excited to be in this position because as much as I had exposure to the church world, there's nothing like being exposed to your own city. And I know that we have been called to be an answer to this need, Pastor. And so I just believe, God, for those that are watching, that we're going to see new converts and people are going to be exposed to our ministry that never knew the ministry existed, even though the ministry has been in their own community all these years.
In that community. And one of the things that I want everybody to hear me, he only sends you where there is a need.
Yes, sir.
God only sends you where there is a need. And if there's no need, then there's no need for you. And this is a self-check for every saved individual, for every pastor. One of the things that Nona showed us in her presentation, she says, we are so busy preaching to the fish in the bowl. She said, so forget the 80, only focus on the bowl, keep feeding the bowl, keep talking to the bowl, she says, and some of y'all are getting excited because you saw some fish show up in your bowl. But the part that messed me up, Will, she says, but what you don't realize, it only jumped from one bowl to your bowl, but you never hit the 80. So the 20% just bowl hop. Wow. You go to this church, you go to this church, you go to this church. We just bowl hop.
Wow.
What about the 80?
Come on, Pastor.
They don't. When my walk today shook, like I walked for almost 2 hours in this community.
Wow.
I walked for about 2 hours. I sat outside and ate. I sat outside and drank my coffee. I sat outside. I talked to people. One lady jumped out of her car. She says, Pastor Hannah, I don't have a mask, but can I just have a hug? I looked, she said, and I've been vaccinated. I was like, come on with it. They just want to be loved.
Yes, sir.
They just want to be loved.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You want to prophesy. You want to speak in tongues. You want to roll in. How many more times you going to get in the prayer line?
Come on.
I just want us to. And so if you're not in this city, I am begging you to pray for us.
Yes, sir.
Men, like there is such a need for men,
sir.
young brothers. We needed, God sent Will back to Chicago because the younger generation need to see that.
Sir.
They need to see that a young black man got his master's degree, a young black man live on his own, a young black man making it. We need men. Okay, I'm sorry.
We need men, Pastor. And guess what? Men are coming.
Yeah,
I've learned that when they see themselves, you have no problem reaching them. So the dope part about being a community pastor, I ain't got to look like a church person.
Right.
Though I'm churchy, and though I have my days where I could dress up in suits, I could come being myself, and I know I'm going to attract myself. So I just want you to continue to speak the truth to the power so that ministries, and guess what? They may not have the budget that we have, but they can collaborate with other ministries within their streets to make sure that something is being done for the community more than just utilizing that community as a parking space.
Yeah. If you're on the west side, until I get my west side back up, meet me tomorrow. Come to the south side. Bring your kids to the south side. I'll be there. My wife will be there. Here we go again. We're not these people that just tell people to go. We go too. We sow too. We do it. What's the times, Will? Give us the time.
So the time, and I must also wanted to say we also have a basketball tournament as well from 10 to 18. So it's going to be dope as well. The times are from 10 to 4. We're at the Greater Grand Crossing Park, which is directly across the street from our tabernacle. We call it the Tab. And it's on 78th and Dobson. So definitely want you to come through and be a part. And again, like Pastor said, if you're not going to be, or you're not in the city, definitely pray for us that the will of the Lord will be done in that area.
Thank you, Cynthia. Cynthia said a portable baptism pool. We just baptized close to 1,000 people. Again, outside the four walls of the church, took them down to the beach, took them down to the lake, and baptized close to 1,000 people. I fight to stay focused.
That's a word, Pastor.
I fight
sir.
To stay focused. Somebody tried to get me involved in some church mess between me and another. I was like, I don't do this.
Right.
This I don't do. I don't have time to be involved in back-to-back church versus church.
Yeah.
This I don't do. We're not on the same page.
Right.
We're not. I'm going after the lost. I don't do this.
Right.
Just to let the late Bishop Brazier said something to me. Like, who are we to spend $60,000? Who are you to spend $60,000 on a community outreach? And Bishop Brazier said something to me before he died. He says, "You much more will be expected of you because of who you are."
Wow.
He says, and God gave it to you because he knew that he could trust you with it.
Wow.
He knew that he could trust you with it. So you're going to have to put more on the table when it comes to certain things. Much more is going to be expected of you.
Sir.
And I remember me sitting there with tears running down my face saying, yes, Lord, that God, you can trust me to meet the need. All right, I'm out here now. I bought a food truck. I paid cash for it. Supporting a freaking Black businessman that took my money but never gave me my truck. And this is to feed the hungry. To feed the hungry. Then when we blasted them on social media, I'm going to bring you your truck. I've been chasing that man for over a year, still trying to get my truck. But I still never stopped.
You never stopped, amen.
Meeting the need.
Yes, sir.
I still never stopped. Because some of y'all, you let one thing stop you from doing what God called you to do.
Yeah.
And there's warfare that goes with assignments.
Pastor, you gotta testify of when we did that business meeting and out of nowhere, a lady stood up and said, "You don't remember me, but when you were a probation officer, you ministered to my daughter and now she's a lawyer."
Oh, man.
So like, you got to know that you may not see the immediate result of what you're doing, but when you sow into the community, you will get a return.
You sow now, you reap later. And
yes,
some things God will never let you see, that only eternity will tell what you've done.
Come on,
you got to do something. What blessed me about that lady was, she says, my daughter was on probation. You came in, not as a preacher, as a probation officer. And you basically did you, building my daughter up, getting my daughter straight. And now my daughter is a lawyer, and the mother was now in law school.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is so crazy to me. But these are the kind of things, but you can only, I'm grateful for the testimonies in the house, but I'm so much more grateful for the testimonies outside the house.
Come on. Yes, sir.
So that is what blesses me. Yeah, that's what we are. So someone was asking, how can I sow? And anyone that is listening, if you want to sow into this, you can sow by going to our website, newlifesoutheast.org, newlifesoutheast.org. Go to the give section, and you can sow in the outreach part.
Absolutely.
Some can sow 20, some can sow 50, whatever you want. You can sow $5, $10, whatever you feel led to sow. I didn't come on here to ask that, but somebody asked me, Pastor Hannah, how can I sow into this? Because to whom much is given,
yes, sir,
much is required. Can somebody put that on the screen for me? newlifesoutheast.org. newlifesoutheast.org. Go to the give, and you can give. It says outreach. And every dime that goes into the outreach goes into outreach. You know, when the pandemic came, we fed every hospital.
Yeah.
We hit the police departments. We hit the fire stations. We made sure. What is that? That is literally us doing what God has called us to do. Absolutely. But tomorrow, it's all about these kids.
All about the kids, man.
Tomorrow.
Look, Pastor, I'm expecting the same testimonies that you saw increase like 1,000-fold. Like, we don't know who's going to be impacted. And one more thing, Pastor, people don't know the degree to how these young people have not been in a classroom for like 2 semesters, like a whole year has passed.
Right.
So re-entering into this new environment, the social anxiety, everything has changed. And I feel that how timely it is before they go back to school to have some level of engagement. And we're not just throwing the gospel down their throat.
No.
They can have fun at the same time hearing the message of Jesus Christ being
spoken. You have to arrest them first.
Yeah.
One of the things, and I need everybody to hear me again. Here we go again. Just talking about just getting the next generation. You have to reach for, watch me. We partnered with Common and with the organization to open up AIM, Art in Motion Performing Art School. They are now moving into, their high school department is moving into our children's church. We're literally turning over our children's church to put this high school in there Monday through Friday. What is that? Because if you could step on holy ground, if I get you to walk through a building that's been prayed through, if I can get you to walk through a building, you know, that we done cried out to God in, you're going to get arrested.
Come on.
You're going to get arrested. So that's who I am. That's who we are. We're word, we're worship, we're prayer, we're outreach, and we're community develop. Guys, I could go on. You know what gave me joy today? Today we closed. We had bought some land in this community. And I just did what the Lord told me to do. Please listen to this, and we're going to let you go. I just obeyed God. Buy every piece of land that you can get your hands on. So we did it. So then an organization called Habitat reached out to us. We hear you have land. You own the land. Yes, we do. We want to build homes in this community on this land.
So go.
I'm like, okay, how does this work? You own the land. We get it from you. We then solicit for people who want to be homeowners. You apply for it. You get it, but you have to build your home. So here I go. My mind started clinging. My church get to help somebody build a house?
Yes, sir. It's amazing.
Listen to me. I could have made more off the land if I sold it.
Come on, Pastor.
But I'm looking at outreach, because who can say I built my house And that church
Yes, sir.
helped me
Yes, sir.
build my house.
Come on.
I'm done. Oh my God. And everybody hear me. And they said to me, now, Pastor Hannah, we need you to understand something. We can't put a demand that they have to be your members. I said, I don't want you to make them all my members. Make it available to everybody.
Come on.
Even my members can apply for it, but let that not be the criteria that they get to build. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Whosoever will, let them come.
Sir.
Whosoever will, let them apply. But whoever get the house, we're going to help them build it.
Sir.
Because when we build them, we're going to start praying.
Come on.
And I'm saying to everyone, this is what I want to do. This is how I want. This is how I want to live my life. I want to live my life pushing and building. I want to go after the lost. I want to push people. I want to build people. I want to watch them do something amazing. So if you want to sow into it, you can sow. If you go to newlifesoutheast.org, newlifesoutheast.org, and you give and go to the outreach, and you can give whatever you can right there. I'm grateful. I'm glad that God sent you back, Will.
Man, I'm glad that God not only sent me back, but he sent me right where I was needed.
You need
excited. Absolutely.
Because we need strong African American men we need to show people like you to our boys, our single mothers that have boys. You got to get a strong man in the face of your son, because the world ain't playing. The world is coming after your kids with everything they got. The world is ahead of the church.
Facts. Absolutely. Unfortunately.
When I tell you this world ain't playing, they taking over media. They taking over music. And your kids, one day I turned on my satellite radio and went to the rap station so I could just listen to the lyrics. And I was sitting in my car like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. But this is what our kids listen to every day and all day. And it's all about sex, money, and material gain. Your kids know more designer stuff than you know.
Definitely.
Because it's all in their music.
Yes, sir.
All right, I've preached enough.
You gave a whole revival message.
78 in Greenwood. If you want to come by from 10 to 4, we would love to see you. If you're a prayer warrior, we need you to be the secret agent. Walk around that park praying. Love on these kids. If you stand next to somebody, just show them the love of Christ. You ain't got to walk up on them speaking in your unknown tongue. You ain't got to come out there to my mind.
Leave your shawls at home.
Leave your press shawls at home. Leave your titles at home. Don't come out there talking about my name is Prophet so-and-so. Get that mess out of here. We're not doing that. My name is Evangelist. Please. All right, guys, I love you all. Pray for Will. Pray for tomorrow. Pray that we can reach those that got sin. Pray that God meet the need. The need is already met. And because to whom much is given, much is required. Pray that God save. Pray that he deliver tomorrow.
Come on.
And that he get this next generation, because we're going to introduce them to Judah Band. We're going to introduce them to Mali music. They don't know them.
No,
they do not know them. But we got people that got vibe who can reach that generation. Absolutely. So pray for that. All right. And for every church, for every pastor, for every ministry that is listening to me, I want you to answer one question. Who and what are you trying to catch? Because every time you preach, every time you open your door, you cast bait. Who and what are you trying to catch? And if you're only catching the saints, You never hit the 80 and they wait on you. All right, I'm out. Deuces.